Hello and welcome to this week 14 edition of Big Game Bound. I'm Chris Hagan. You know, they say that games to remember are the ones in December. The playoff picture starting to take shape in the AFC and NFC. Also, the final byes of the season with 6 teams taking the weekend off. Let's jump right in with a look at our marquee matchup. A couple of division leaders in action as the Buccaneers visit the 49ers. For more on this one, let's say hello to our Kate Rooney out in Santa Clara. Kate, Jimmy Garoppolo, he was going to be gone, then he was back, and now he's gone again, at least for the time being. What is going on at the quarterback position right now with those Niners?
It's been a real quarterback roller coaster over here, to say the least. Yeah, the 3 guys in the quarterback room right now are 3 people whose names most 49er fans probably didn't know at the start of the season. QB1 is Brock Purdy, who made the roster, made the 53-man roster as the 3rd-string QB this season. He's the rookie, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the 2022 draft. Pretty relevant these days as he got some significant action, of course, in the Dolphins game on Sunday. And then backing him up, they've got Josh Johnson, who a lot of NFL fans may know. He's a journeyman throughout this league. He's done a couple stints with the 49ers in the past, so he has some familiarity with Kyle Shanahan's system. And then on the practice squad, they've got Jacob Eason, so he's taken those scout team reps. And Jimmy Garoppolo is still around for meetings and, you know, to lend an ear where possible. But it's those 3 guys that I mentioned who are getting the reps in practice, and it's Brock Purdy who we're going to see under center starting on Sundays for the foreseeable future.
I saw Shanahan in the post game. You could tell visibly shaken by what Jimmy's going through. What does that mean, though? You have to move on. As you said, next man up. In this case, it'll be an untested guy, very little experience. What are still the optimistic and realistic goals for the 49ers for the regular season and perhaps beyond?
Well, the 49ers know better than anyone else that anything can happen. They have dealt with more than their fair share of injuries over the last few seasons, and that, of course, includes Trey Lance going down early on in this season. So they know how to adjust. The good thing is they have got the league's best defense right now. So they're going to hope that that can carry a lot of weight as they get ready to go up a couple interesting quarterbacks here. Tom Brady and Geno Smith are the 2 next quarterbacks on the docket, so that's not going to be easy for any defense, even an elite one like the 49ers have. And then they're hoping that the skill players that they have will also be able to step up and make contributions to support this rookie quarterback. And their goal is still to get out of the playoffs, make a deep run, and make their way to the title game. They think that, you know, they have these questions at quarterback, but aside from that, they have all the pieces in place to make a deep run. That's their goal. That's how they're going to proceed. Their schedule going forward here is kind of favorable. As far as a return for Jimmy Garoppolo, well, Kyle Shanahan spoke Wednesday, and he was not optimistic. He said there is a, quote, way outside chance that Jimmy Garoppolo would be back in time for a very late playoff appearance, maybe the NFC title game or the Super Bowl, but they are not overly optimistic about that.
You're right there in the building. You kind of have an idea of what's going on there. It starts at the top with Shanahan. What has been his message, and does he have that kind of positive attitude, as you spoke about, that maybe permeates up and down the roster and realize there's still a lot to play for?
It does. The message of this team in the entire Kyle Shanahan era, not just this year, but always has been to never get too high or too low. So they never over-celebrate their wins, and they never get too caught up or dejected by any of their losses. Case in point, the fact that they started the season 3-5 a year ago and ended up reaching the NFC title game. Case in point, they started this season 3-4, and until Jimmy Garoppolo's injury, they were considered, after that 4-game winning streak, one of the hottest teams in the NFC and a strong contender to perhaps repeat at a chance to reach that title game. So it's really hard to say what's going to happen with an unknown commodity like Brock Purdy, because there's no 2 ways around it. The quarterback is the most important position in the NFL, and if you can't have a quarterback who can play well and play consistently, it is hard to imagine making a deep run. But this team really believes in each other. The locker room is still pretty positive. They're still trying to support each other and lift each other up, and we'll have to see what happens this week. I think a lot more will be known after we see Brock Purdy's second large body of work against the Buccaneers, and see where we can go from there, and what can be more realistic after he gets another NFL game and his first NFL start under his belt.
Yeah, you mentioned that defense. If he can just take care of the ball on offense, I think you have a pretty good chance of winning. Sorry, Kate, couldn't resist.
I've done it myself.
Awesome. But thanks for the time. Great stuff as usual. We will talk again down the road.
Thanks so much.
The week begins as usual on Thursday night. The surging Raiders visiting the reigning Super Bowl chumps, or should I say champs, Rams. Let's get the scoop from Vegas with our Logan Reaver.
The Raiders' Thursday night matchup just got a lot more interesting. The Rams claiming former number 1 overall pick Baker Mayfield off of waivers. The move comes after he was released by Carolina earlier this week. So can you truly plug and play a quarterback in a system he's never played in before in the matter of 2 days? Derek Carr gives his take.
I'm not sure the systems that he's been in, the terminology and all that kind of stuff. There's some systems that you could possibly do that and, all those things. But, that's more power to him. But, I'm focused on their defense because their defense is pretty good.
Mayfield has an all-time record of 0-2 against the Raiders, a meeting in 2018 and 2020, both with Cleveland. He completed just half of his passes in those games with 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 67. No official word yet if Mayfield will get the start on Thursday night, but Vegas looks to continue his woes against the Silver and Black if that is the case. I'm Logan Reaver.
7 games in the 1 o'clock window on Sunday, including the Browns in Cincy to take on the Bengals. Deshaun Watson and Joe Burrow on display at quarterback. A battle for the Republic of Texas between the last-place Houston squad and the surging Cowboys. The Vikings visit the suddenly roaring Lions, and an AFC South meeting in Nashville as the Jaguars stalk the Titans. The Ravens invade Pittsburgh, but without the services of Lamar Jackson. Also at 1, the Jets on the road against Buffalo. On the Bills beat, here's our Josh Reed.
You can't deny the huge impact of losing Von Miller, but this team has navigated injuries all season. They have started 11 unique lineups on the defensive side of the ball. Only 4 teams have started more combinations on defense, and yet the Bills still have a 9-3 record.
No matter what predictions are, adversity always strikes. You don't know when, and it started early with losing Micah and Dane in that first game. We got him back, and but I think Sean and the coaches have done a great job of having the next man ready to roll, and our guys, they just that whole thing that Vaughn brought about don't blink. The guys have done a great job. Yeah, we've had some bumps and not everything's been pretty, but it's part of the deal.
Got a couple young guys, me, AJ Bug, and Greg. It's just our time to step up. We all us 3 played pretty good last week. We all counted on each other. We just told each other 1 play at a time. I got your back, you got my back.
A few other injury updates for you. Matt Milano did not practice due to a knee injury. Jordan Phillips also did not practice. He's dealing with a shoulder issue. And Deion Dawkins was limited at practice. He missed last week's game against the Patriots with an ankle injury. I'm Josh Reed.
All right, thanks, Josh. In the NFC East, the first-place Eagles pay a visit to the Giants. Let's talk G-Men with our Justin Walters.
Daniel Jones said it best after the tie against Washington. Everything we want to accomplish is still there for us, and he's right. The Giants are playing meaningful football in December, and what better way to send a message than to beat arguably the best team in the NFL?
It's crunch time for the G-Men. 3 quarters down, 1 more to go.
We didn't play as cleanly as we wanted to, as we did in the first quarter, the second quarter. So now this 4th quarter of the season, we got to lock in and really get what's in front of us.
In front of the Giants are the 11-1 Eagles. With 5 games left and 2 of those against Philly, the Giants need wins in this tight NFC playoff race, not ties or moral victories.
For us, it's the best team in the NFL right now. 1 loss. They lost to Washington. They have a star-studded roster. I think Howie's done a great job of putting together a bunch of talent there on that team. Jalen's playing phenomenal.
While the Giants are the clear underdog heading into this, they've shown what they can do when underestimated. No one expected Washington to beat Philly a few weeks ago. New York has to be thinking, why not us?
In the 4 o'clock Eastern window, the Chiefs head to Denver to face the Broncos. That's a good place for KC to get back on track after losing in Cincy last week, snapping a 5-game win streak. And out in Seattle, the Seahawks hosting the 4-8 Panthers. As for prime time, on Sunday night, the Dolphins on the road against the Chargers. 2 of the best young quarterbacks in the game on display in that one, Tua and Justin Herbert. Miami, a slight road favorite. And then on Monday Night Football, the Patriots, currently holding the final playoff spot in the AFC, they're in need of a road win against the disappointing Arizona Cardinals. I tell you who's never disappointing, and that is the son of sweetness in Chi-Town, Jarrett Payton, in the house with Payton's Picks. A 1-1-1 effort last week, JP, bringing the record to 27-11-1 on the season. You got plenty of wiggle room to still be a dominating force on these picks. Let's bounce back, though, and get back on the winning track. Let's go with Vikings at Lions. This one's suddenly a difficult decision to make, I think.
I know, Chris, a lot of people trying to figure out who's going to win this game. And, you know, the Vikings come in with a great record, but they also are underdogs in this game. I think the reason why is because we're seeing Detroit, and they're really good at home. They're averaging 31 points per game at the crib, so that's second in the NFL playing at home. I do like the Vikings. They have a lot to play for in this game. But there is something to say for what Dan Campbell and that Lions squad is doing. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and when they're playing at home at Ford Field, I love them to have an opportunity to get another dub. So, listen, the Vikings might have the better record, but I think all the momentum right now is going towards the Lions. So guess what? Dan Campbell and the Lions get the dub this week.
All right, stop the presses. I think this is a first in the history of doing this. JP has picked the Lions to win a game. Mark the tape. We'll come back to that. All right, let's move on now to the NFC East. We got the Eagles still flying high on the road against the Giants.
Well, let's see, Chris. The Giants are having a little rough stretch here over the last few games. They haven't won since November 13th, if I'm not correct. But I'm saying this is a team right now that's still trying to figure out their way. And then you got a Philly squad that is just on cruise control right now. The issue that I have is, can the Giants find a way to be able to stop Jalen Hurts and company on the ground? And I think it's going to be too much for them to handle no matter what happens with Saquon Barkley and how he gets off. I think the Eagles are just rolling too strong right now. Jalen Hurts and company, they end up getting a dub on this one.
Now let's round out Peyton's Picks with a game that I'm going to be watching with keen interest. I got fantasy implications in this one on both sides, JP, but let's just get down to the teams themselves. The Browns at the Bengals.
Well, I mean, Sean Watson coming back last week, I know was a hot topic. His game didn't show up. And I think going up against his old squad, you thought there was going to be a little bit more there, but a little bit rusty. And the fact that you had an issue going up against and just beating the Texans, who only have 1 win on the season, then you know, Chris, that there's going to be some issues and some rust. Listen, the Bengals, man, they show what they're all about. You go up against KC at your own place, which you told me not to go against the Bengals at home, and I did. Joe Burrow and company are clicking on all cylinders right now. Jamar Chase is back. He's doing his thing. Joe Mixon could be back into the mix as well. And Samaje Perine has picked up where he has left off, and I think he's going to get some more burn as well. It's just too much to handle. I think the last time these two teams played, it was the ground game of Cleveland. I don't see that happening. I see that the Bengals get a little bit tougher of getting after the quarterback and getting after Deshaun Watson, and I think that Joe Burrow and company keep doing what they're doing, looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, and the Bengals, they get the dub.
All right, let's get this thing back on track. Here's a recap of Peyton's Picks. Yes, he likes the Lions. They've won 4 out of 5. He thinks they'll keep it rolling at home against the Vikings. He'll take the Eagles. He didn't do the flying dance, but that's what he wants to do on the road against the Giants. And he's on track with me. He should have listened. Yes, the Bengals at home against the Browns. JP, let's go 3-0 this week, and we'll talk about it and brag on you next week.
Let's go, man. We're going to keep this thing hot. Chris, always great talking football with you. Look forward to doing it next week.
Now it's time to listen to who's saying what around the league in this week's edition of Open Mic.
This game of football is not necessarily all about the past, it's about the present. That's the great thing about the game. What can we do to go against a really good football team and go get a win at home for our fans and for our team.
We're trying to build championship habits. I keep telling the guys that. It's championship habits. Every single week, 1 week at a time. And that's what we're trying to build, because we're building a champion.
We feel like this division is one of the best divisions in football every single year. And I think you see the records go lower because we're all kind of beat up on each other, but we've done a great job of winning those close, hard-fought football games. And that's a tribute to the coaches and the culture that Coach Reed has built here that started even before I was here.
Look, I'm not saying that we can't improve in every area, because we can. And we'll continue to try to do that. Success comes through consistency.
As players and as an organization, we have to respect that decision that she made to move on from John. But at this point, you know, especially talking about today and this week, as players, we have a job to do.
I not only don't speak on the medical, I don't speak on the financial. You know, I mean, that's the business component of our business, and I could not tell you specifically how far those conversations went.
I'm not, saying, oh, well, you know, he's about to be the #1 quarterback. No, but he's going to perform well. I know it. Just about what I've seen, he's going to be a great quarterback here for us, and you know, it's going to be here a long time. So get used to him.
Man, as the road gets narrow, it makes you or it breaks you. You feel that pressure or you apply that pressure. It's my preference to apply it. And it's my job to make sure our team shares that sentiment.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Hey, that will do it for this edition of Big Game Bound. For producer Phil Nardiello and all of our Nexstar correspondents across the nation, I'm Chris Hagan. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you next time.